Hello everyone, this is Menak from Civil Center, uh, structural engineer currently having 2 years of experience. Today basically we are in our demo class for Tekla Structural Designer, which is an advanced software for structural design. And basically first we'll go through the steps of the software, then we'll have a detailed discussion and interactive session. So without wasting any time, we'll start our demonstration. So basically, for working in Tekla Structural Designer software, you need a centerline diagram. So I don't know how many of you have used any kind of software, structural design software before, and maybe some of you have worked on STAAD or ETABS or any other software for the structural design. So I'll tell you about the output first. So basically, this is our output. So if you are a civil engineer, and you want to go in the field of structural design, then you need this. So this is, I think some of you have saw this before. This is our structural drawing sheet, and in this basically all the structural members, dimension, and as well as your properties are given. So basically, what are the structural members we have to understand before starting our demo class. So basically, the structural members are in a building. Let's discuss about the structural members in a building. So starting from the footing, then your plain beam, then your columns, your roof beams, your staircase, your slabs. So all the RCC members which carry the loads, because we are designing a frame structure. So in the frame structure, all the elements which carry the loads, they come under the structural elements. Masonry means brick work, is excluded because it acts only as a load in your frame structure. So basically, we need, for starting in Tekla Structural Designer, we need a centerline diagram, because for the this is the input, and how we'll prepare this input we'll discuss in the next class. How this input is prepared. So basically, this is a file of beam column plan, and first we'll show you the plan, basic plan first. So this is the plan of architectural plan, and as you can see here, this is the architectural plan, and there we have various rooms. Here we have the staircase, and this is the column positions, the rectangular red marked in red rectangles. This is the column positions, and these are the various room sizes. This is the ground floor, and this is the first floor. So these are the plans, and we have drafted them in AutoCAD. And after drafting them, when we have made your beams, if there is a wall here, then a beam will be present here. We have made the beams, and we have made the centerline of these beams, which is this. So this will import directly into Tekla Structural Designer, because we want to do the structural design of this building, in which the details and the structural details of all the members, including the sizes of various members, like for example the beam, the size of the beam and the reinforcement used in the beam can be visible, because when you will design a building, you need to present it to a client. So in this course of G+3 building design, we will take you to the final step. So I think there is a lot much talking. We'll just move towards the software, and then we'll discuss later. So this is my interface of the Tekla Structural Designer. As you can see here, all of you, I think, are familiar with the construction levels. If not, then the construction levels are the levels. Like the base, we'll take this as the plinth level. You know the plinth level. First beam is called the plinth level, and then below the plinth level, we'll just give suppose we'll just take it again. Below the plinth level, we'll insert a foundation level. So foundation depth I'm taking as 1.2 meter. You can change it as per your wish. So we'll take it as 1.2 meters, and then I'll insert another floor above it, and this time I'll take a spacing of 3.2 meters. So I've taken a spacing of 3.2 meters, and this is my first slab. So I've given the slab thickness also. So this is basically G. The ground floor has been made. And how many floors do you want to have? Okay, let's take 6 floors.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
So this spacing that you're providing, is it for all, like in every structure, or are you specifying it only to this one?
I'm specifying it to this one. Generally, this the height, the height is normal height is taken as 10 feet 6 inch. which is approximately equal to 3.2 meters. But if you go to apartments, you can see that the height is on the top floors, it's approximately 9 feet. So you can take around 3.3 to 2.9 meter also. So it based on the requirements of your client and based on the requirements of the building. But this is in general.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so does it vary with commercial and then residential?
Yeah, it there are some bylaws also for the building, and some bylaws allow you the construction up to, suppose you have taken up to the construction permission up to the height of 15 meters. Then up to 15 meters, the more floors you will provide. If you are designing an apartment, if you are the owner of the property, the more apartments or more floors you can create, the more profit you can generate. So according to that, we can vary the spacing. So it's up to you. There is no definite standard for middle cell. Suppose in assembly hall, you need to give more spacing. So depending on the requirements of that particular usage of that particular area, you need to give the spacing. So this is the basic spacing for.
And accordingly, slab thickness will also change, sir.
Yes, slab thickness doesn't depend on that. Slab thickness is different. Okay, so we'll just insert another level above it. So this is our G+1. So let's go more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've gone up to G+6. So this is basically our G ground floor, and we have done 6 more floors above it. And then we'll just click on OK. So we have created the levels. Now we'll just simply import our model, because we want the center line. The input file which I had shown you, we'll just import that. So for importing that, we'll just go to our model again, and then it will take some time the software to load in the levels. So once the levels have been created, I'll go to the base and then I'll import our file. So the input file which I had shown, we can import this. First we'll import the center line of the file. We'll import this as an mm file, and then we'll make sure that we just import this center line along all the levels. So this center line has been imported here. Now we need to assign our column positions. So before assigning our column positions, you can see that we had our architectural plan. So if we import this, it will be helpful for us because we'll know where the column positions are placed. So we'll do that. We'll just use our input file again, and then we'll just open it, and then we'll just untick the center line because we don't need it now, and we'll import it as a shadow. So it will present there, but it will not affect the structure. So basically we'll just import this. So this importing has been done. And after this importing has been done, we'll just go for assigning your beams and columns. So first we'll go to the columns. So basically let me first provide column size. As you can see, we can change the parameters here. This is the concrete grade, which you can change here. And this is the size, section size. Let us go with 400 into 450. Okay, we'll just give this size.
Sir, can you speak a little bit slower?
Okay, thanks for telling actually. If you have a problem, then many, I think, are not getting it. Actually, I was just...
Can you repeat once again from
Okay. Okay, are you comfortable with the mode of instructional language?
Yes, sir. But
Okay.
sir, can you repeat and please a little bit?
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so basically I was doing it a little bit fast because I wanted to complete it, and then we could discuss some of the things, because the model basically you can't get it in one day, but you can understand the process. So I'll do it again for you. I don't have any problem with that. So at first what we did is we showed you the input file, which is our AutoCAD file, which I had shown to you. So in this file, we had your centerline diagram, that is the center of all the columns, and your architectural plan also, beam column plan. This is the beams, these are the beams, and this is the column. So it is easily visible here. And if we import this into the software, so we can provide the structural members, or that is beams and columns, accordingly. So we have prepared the input file, and then we have defined some construction levels. So the construction levels are basically, this is the foundation level, this is the plinth level, this is the first slab, that is the ground floor is complete. Now first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor, sixth floor. So it's G+6 building. So for the G+6 building, we had defined the construction levels and the spacing on the height between the two floors we had assigned as 3.2 meter, which equals 10 feet 6 inch, and which is a standard used in normal residential buildings. And the foundation depth we have provided as the 1.2 meter, which is approximately 4 feet, 4.5 feet. So these things we have provided, and then we had to import your file, the input file, so that we can start assigning all the structural members. So for assigning the structural members, what we did is we went to our plinth level, because we want to start with the plinth level, and then we imported your input file. And please don't worry that if you are not getting anything, we'll just discuss in detail. This is the first class, so don't worry about anything if you don't get it, because you can't get it in a day. So we'll just import the center line, and then we'll just import it as an architectural grade. Unit is mm right now, and then we had some connection problems, so it turned off. So basically I'll just go through this a little bit fast, and then because I want to have some time for discussion, and then we'll repeat, and whatever doubts you have, then we can discuss. I'll try to have just increase the speed a little bit, because we don't have much time left. So basically we will import the center line. Here we are importing the architectural grades, the center line, and we'll just import the center line to all the levels, that is ground floor plus 6 floors, which levels we had created. We'll import it in all the levels. So after this has been imported, as you can see here, we need to assign our beams and columns. So for assigning beams and columns, we need to have the beam column plan, so that we can easily know in which positions we need to assign the beams and the columns. So first of all, we'll just import our DXF file, CAD file again, and this time we don't need the center line. We only need the plan, and we'll import it as a shadow, so that it doesn't affect the structure, but it will be present there. See, it is imported as a shadow, and this will help us in assigning our beams and columns. So we'll define the properties of our columns. So we have already defined it, 400 into 450. You can change it according to that. The grade of concrete we have taken as M20 grade of concrete, and grade of steel we are changing it. Also we can discuss a lot of things. Actually, the highest grade of steel which is available in the market right now, I'll ask you after this session, and we'll discuss on that. So basically I have taken the column sizes, and then we can provide it simply. So before providing it, I'll just see, here is the position where I can put the column, and after we put the column, you can see in the 3D view the column is visible here. And now we'll go back to a plinth level, and we'll complete the process of assigning the columns. So it's very easy, and it's there are a lot of softwares for structural design available in the market, and the most popular among them is StatPro, which everyone learned. So StatPro is the basics, but this software is very easy because it's user friendly, and it's very easy to learn. But what we do in our course is not only the software, which is the complete design of the building, so that our students can design any building on their own. Because actually in this field of structural design, there are a lot of experienced people. So as you can see here, our columns have been assigned. Now we'll just assign our beams. So for moving to the beams, we'll just select the beam, and then we'll define a property for our beams. So let us go with 250 into 350, and then we'll click on OK, and then just change the grade of the reinforcement to FE500. So then we'll just save it, so that we'll just save the beam type, and then we can assign the beams. So first we'll assign the secondary beams which do not have a column to column connections. You just need to click, have a single click and then a double click, single click and then a double click. We're applying the secondary beams first, and in the secondary beams, one thing we need to do, do this as pin. So if you don't know what is pin support and why we need to do it. We'll just explain you in the next classes, but simply you can understand that in secondary beams it's not fixed, it's pin supports. Fixed are those which are beams, the beams are from column to column, they will be fixed. So as you can see, we have provided the secondary beams. Now we will provide the primary beams, which are the column to column beams, and for that process is very simple. You can simply assign all the beams. We'll validate the model step by step. This is the option for validating, so that we don't do any errors.
So excuse me. So one more option was the movement. What was that one? One was fully fixed and pin, and one more movement.
So you can release the movement at that place. If you know that in a particular member only movement is coming, so you can do that. So let me validate the model. So the model is validated, so it's okay. So the model has been validated. Now what you need to do is, now you go to the structure 3D and you can see that the plane beams have been assigned. So after the plane beams have been done, we can just copy these plane beams to all other levels. So the process is simple. We'll just go to the construction level and then we can just copy all these beams. So when we change the source, we can make sure, as you can see, all the beams and columns are ready. So G+6 building beams and columns are ready. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to assign some slabs. So in the ground floor or the plinth level, there will be no slab. So we'll go to the next level, which is the first slab level, and in the first slab level we can do the process of assigning some slabs. For that we need to assign some slabs. This is the staircase portion, so we'll leave that, and in all the remaining portions we'll assign our slabs. So yeah, so we're done here, and we go to the structure 3D level. See what happened is that we had made the source as base, so everything has been copied to all the levels. So we don't want that. We just click on Ctrl Z, and then what we'll do, we'll go to the construction levels and we'll make all this as unique, so that the changes which you do in one particular floor is not copied to other levels. So basically I'll just move a little fast here now, and then we'll have some time to discuss. So this is our first floor slab level, and all the construction levels are unique now. Now I can provide the slab on beams. So slab already depth I had defined as 125, but we can change it later also. So this is the staircase portion, as you can see in the plan. So sparing the staircase portion will provide the beam slabs in all the portions, as you can see here, and then we'll copy it. So for the copying, we have the same process. We'll just select the name of the floor in which we have provided the slab, so that it is copied to all the floors. So as you can see here, so it has been copied to all the floors. So we'll go to our construction levels and make it as unique again. Now we are done here. So as you can see, the slabs have also been assigned, and now we'll go to the process of application of loads. So basically, there are we know the codes for load. So anyone can tell what are the different types of loads we have? So we have the
Dead load and live load.
Yeah, dead load, live load, and what is the code for the dead load? IS code. I think all of you know the IS code for RCC members, which is IS 456-2000. And for the dead load, we have the code for the IS code specifically for the dead load, which is IS 875 part 1. So we'll assign the dead load here. We go to our first level, and then we'll just assign simple dead load here. We'll select dead load, and then we'll put the load of the walls. So you can calculate that as per our preference. I'm just taking a general value and we'll provide it in all the beams. You can calculate this value. This value will act as a UDL, which is in kilonewton per meter, and then you can provide it accordingly. You can provide it as for different for 10-inch walls. You can provide it different for interior walls also. But for now, for showing the process, I am just assigning the same load everywhere. So as you can see, the dead load has been applied, and now what you can do is you can copy the dead load to all the floors. So for copying the dead loads, the process will be the same. You go to the model, go to the construction levels, and then we'll just copy the dead load to all the floors. So as you can see here, the dead load has been copied, but we'll just we can also provide it the dead load individually to all the floors. So we'll just do that also for showing you. As you can see here, in this level also, we can just go back to select our dead load, and then we can just go to our loadings, and then we'll just select the full UDL, and then we'll just provide the loads. So here I'm providing the loads of the walls on our beams. Because our walls act only as a partition, they don't bear any loads. They put loads on the beams, and the loads on the beams are transferred to the columns. So here, as you can see here,
We will provide the dead load inside the, like in the inner walls also.
we are not providing the self weight of the inner walls, but we are providing the load of the walls. There will be walls here, and the wall will put some load on these beams, and we are providing the load for those walls. For the inner walls also, for the, yeah,
I did not get you, sir. Could you please repeat?
you have this architectural plan. In this inner walls there will be walls, and
Okay.
below this there will be beams. So the load of this wall will be carried by these beams. So without any beam below the wall, the structure cannot be designed. If we are giving a wall here, so 100% there should be a beam below it, because the load will be carried by the beam and not directly by the slab. So that's why we have provided this dead load, and we can similarly provide this. We just applied it on level 2, second slab. So you can also provide the live load also. So the code for the live load, as you know, is IS 875 part 2. So we'll just select full UDL here. So after selecting full UDL, we'll just apply the. So we'll select level load, because we want to give a particular load that is in kilonewton per meter square, which is the unit in which we apply the live load, because we apply the live load on the slab. So we take a slab of 1 meter into 1 meter. And in IS 875 part 2, there are loads defined for different types of buildings. So for residential buildings, it's 2 kilonewton per meter square. So we'll just apply this load. So as you can see, if I select imposed load here, so the imposed load has been applied. The imposed load has been applied in one floor. Now we'll copy it in all the floors which has slabs. So we can do that. We'll just go to the model, construction levels, and then we'll just give the source as 2, in which we have assigned the loads. So the dead loads and the live loads will get copied to all the levels. So as you can see here, this is the live loads or the imposed loads, and this is the dead load. So the dead load and the live load has been completed, and as you know that both these loads are the vertical loads. Now we'll assign some lateral loads. So what are the lateral loads? Anyone?
Sir, wind load and seismic load.
What is your name, please?
Sir, Olympia Banerjee.
Good, very good. So we'll just apply some wall panels here, because this is a frame structure and we have designed only the frame. So we need to give a particular area for the wind load to act. So before applying the wind load, we need to provide some wall panels. We'll just select a wall panel here, and then we'll just apply some panels. Let's keep this panel up to the plinth level. So the purpose of these panels is that so that the wind gets a surface in this building to act, and according to that the software will calculate the wind load. So 2 panels I provided, more to go. And all this design you can do manually as well. All the wind load designs, all the seismic load designs you can do manually. Software is just a tool in which you can do it fast, but basics, the concepts should be clear. Only after that you can get the final results properly. And in our course also we'll teach only that, how to get the final output. So here we have provided the wind panels. Let us validate the model. So I'm good to go because the model has been validated. Now I can apply the wind loads. To apply the wind load, we can go to the loading part, and then we'll simply apply the wind load with the help of our wind wizard. So what is the IS code for wind load? It's IS 875.
So can we calculate the wind load also?
Yes, we can calculate the wind load also.
The how to calculate the formula?
There is no formula to calculate the wind load. There is a particular code, IS 875 part 3, and there are steps. It's not done with a single formula. We'll show you the formulas and all in the classes. For now, we'll just give some introduction. Basically all these things, the orientation, building height, building type, basic wind speed, everything is given in the IS 875 part 3, in which you can find the different formulas, and as per that you can calculate it. The software only uses these values so that we can calculate this. So the basic wind speed varies for different zones. In Bhubaneswar and in the eastern parts, it's 50 meters per second, and the basic wind speed for different zones is also given in the IS code. So don't have to worry about that. So we'll give the basic wind speed, and then there are some other factors. So these are some factors. Now they are asking if the building is an area which has other buildings as well. So we'll select the 4th option, terrain with numerously large, closely spaced obstructions, which means that it's in a populated area. So these things we can give, and then so there you can see, saw some factors which they have taken, K1, K2, K3. These factors they have taken, and then we'll just simply apply the 4 directions, add the 4 directions in which the wind load will act. So the 4 directions are lateral load. So there will be 0, 90, 270, 180. We'll just apply this, and then we'll also show you in the model. So all the 4 lateral directions, the wind load will be acting, and sorry. After that, we'll apply the seismic load. For application of the seismic load, we'll just go to the seismic load and then seismic wizard. And after that, so what is the IS code for seismic load? Anyone? So it's IS 81893, which is the IS code for seismic load. And these factors, when we'll discuss the IS code in the class, we'll explain these factors and how to take these factors. And you'll have your different kinds of buildings also. So this is basically RC, reinforced concrete moment resisting frame, because we're considering frame structures. And the earthquake load also takes into account the live load and the dead load. Based on it, it makes some combinations. So basically we're making these combinations here. You can see these are the combinations which are generated by the earthquake load. We're simply untaking all the WS part, which is the working stress methods, because we want to design it by limit state. The working state is a very conservative one. It will give you a larger section. So we'll go with the limit state method. So just finish it, and then one thing we are left with is the load combinations. Because in any time in a structure, one load doesn't act. Different combinations of loads act. So we need to generate the combinations, and we'll simply generate some load combinations here. This is the same process. We'll just deselect all the working stress combinations. We'll go with the limit state ones. So I've deleted or unticked all of them, and then the load combinations have been generated. And after that, I'll just validate my model, and then let me analyze all. So basically, I want to ask one question. How many of you know, or in basic simple terms, I don't want a bookish definition, what is structural analysis? In a simple way, what do you understand by structural analysis? You can answer. You can answer because we have almost completed the model here, and then we'll just discuss a few things which the software can do. Basically, after this, in this software, you'll get the structural drawings. You know, the sizes of the members as well as the reinforcement of the members, and also you'll get the report. And the report you'll get the material quantity, because in any projects or which you have done, most of you have done, I think some of you have done estimation. So in estimation, we do because we want to know the cost of the project, and we want to procure, we want to know how much materials we want to procure, how much cement, how much sand will be utilized in the project. We need to know that. That's why we do estimation. And in this project, and in estimation, as you know, the material part, the major cost is of concrete and steel. So in this software, you'll get the accurate quantity of concrete, and you will get the approximate quantity of steel. The approximate quantity means it will give you an allowance of 10%. So 10% may be extra, but it will not be less. So as I told you, let us first, you can see here, the structure has passed. As you can see, this is the pass, the fail. So red, if it had come red, it would have failed. Then we could design the structure again, considering some other sizes. So sizes we have provided are good to go. So we'll come back to the structural analysis question. First, let me show you the report. So here, as I told you, we can generate the quantity of concrete and steel. So we'll show that. We'll just go to the last page and simply show you. So in this project of G+6 building, the quantity of concrete is 305.6 meter cube, and the total quantity of steel is 36.7 ton. So you can see how easily you can get the quantity of concrete and steel. So I have someone has written something. Let me just Deepti ma'am has written, structural analysis is the determination of the effects of loads on physical structures and their components. So you are correct. We'll go back, get back to you. So this, we have generated the report, and then we can also generate the drawing. Suppose you want a drawing of particular beam, let's say this one. You can just right click on it, and then we can just go to, as you can see, we have design member here, and we have generate detailing drawing. So here we can generate the detailing drawing. It will open in your CAD software, the drawing. And as you can see here, this is the drawing. So there, before discussing this drawing, I want to go back to the software and just right click on it, and then click on design member again. So we'll just compare the data and discuss what are the reinforcement in this beam. So as you can see, in this beam we have given a reinforcement of two numbers of 16 mm at the top, along with the two numbers of 12 mm, and the bottom two numbers of 12 mm. So we'll just go back to the CAD file, and then you can see here the reinforcement detailing. So we have the 12 mm bars and at the top and as well as at the bottom. As you can see here, these are different at the various sections. So here, this section we are discussing the 16 mm bars at the top and as well as at the bottom. So as you can see, the detailing drawing here for the beams, and you can also get some other detailing drawings as well. Before that,
Sir, can you show of one more beam? Suppose the same floor and the inner beam, like the second beam.
Yes, we'll do that. Yes, we'll do that. Before that, let us just provide the foundations, and let us just complete the building. So we'll provide the foundation. We'll just select isolated footing here, and we can just change your grade of reinforcement, and after that we can change the soil bearing capacity as well. As you can see, we'll show you bar spacing. So yeah, we have the soil bearing capacity is 250. We'll keep that. So we'll apply the footings here, and the footings are auto designed in the software. So after we design the footings, and then we'll go to some more drawings and go take a look at some layouts. As you can see, this is the structural drawing sheet, and what is the first element we have in the structural drawing sheet is the foundation layout. So we'll see the foundation layout first, and then we'll see the beam column layout, beam column plan, and then we have the column schedule, footing schedule, roof beam schedule, and the plain beam schedule. So, and also the slab details. So we'll discuss some of these drawings here, how these drawings are generated, and then we can customize the drawings as per our preference. So we'll go to the, okay, some of your footings have been failed. We need to change the sizes and need to interpolate. We can do that. So, but before we can show you the drawings of the footing layout. So here, let us first go and add some content for your foundation layout, so that we can get an idea how the drawings are generated here. So as you can see in the CAD file, it will open the foundation layout, as you can see here. So we have the different sizes of this foundation. As you can see, the sizes are given and the depth is also given. And here, suppose you have the sections, that is the 10 mm reinforcement will be given at a spacing of 175 along the YY, and the 12 mm reinforcement will be given at a spacing of 200 at the XX direction. So both the directions as well as the details are given, and here you can also find the quantity as well. So someone has a chat. Textile elements is a Galaxy is writing. Galaxy, your name please. Buildings, bridges, aircraft, ships. Structural analysis is a key part of the engineering design of structures. Yes, it's a key part. So here we have the reinforcement details, as you can see. Footing schedule and the footing layout we got here, and similarly we can also get the total beam column plan. We'll go to the general arrangement drawing. We'll just add one element, and then we'll go to the content, and let's say we'll select a particular level and we want the drawing of that particular level, beam column plan, which is basically this one. So we want this one. We are taking this one, this typical beam column layout we want from this. So as you can see here, we have the column size, the column markings here, the beam markings, slab markings. So as per that, we can take out the data. This is the beam schedule, and as per that, we can take the data for different beams, and we can customize it in our software. So basically, this was it. And coming back to the part of the structural analysis. So structural analysis is basically when you apply your loads. Suppose you apply some loads on this building and this particular beam. Here we have applied some dead load here. So after we have applied this dead load, it will generate some internal forces in this beam. So the internal forces are like shear force, bending moment. These are the internal forces, and for that we need to determine, if we want to determine the values of this internal forces, this is structural analysis. As we had studied in our civil engineering, we had determined the shear force and bending moment. And let me also tell you, we had taken a thin line in our bending moment diagrams, shear force diagrams. What was that? Can anyone tell me what was that? We had not taken a rectangular section. We had taken one line, and in that line we had applied UDL. Here also we have applied UDL, but we have a rectangular beam. So what is the difference between that? My question is, why we had taken a line there, and what does that line represent? What did that line represent when we had studied your shear force and bending moment diagram? Anyone? It can be a guess. It's related. I already hint is that we have already shown it in the starting parts. So anyone is not telling. So it's basically
The center line?
Yeah, exactly. What is your name?
Shalini.
Good. It's the center line, because we have already taken the center line here, and because we assume that all the loads are acting along the center line, and as per that we design. So it represents the center line. So basically we had seen this software, and now we can discuss about it, and we can discuss about the course. So let me take you through the course content, which will be, this is your 30 hours course, in which you have the parts of the software, your parts of the drafting parts, in which will show you how to draft a plan, draw a plan in AutoCAD, and then you need to prepare certain things as for the input. Is the how to assign your column positions, how to define the orientation of the columns, how to draw your beam column plan, how to make your center line, and then how to import it into the software. So while after the software part is complete, we'll make you thorough with some concepts related to the IS code, like what load we should take for the outer wall, what load we should take for the inner wall, and how to calculate those loads, and then how to do some settings so that we can get the desired results in this Tekla Structural Designer, and then finally how we can generate the final structural sheet. And the specialty of this course and all the courses in Civil Center is that we teach the complete package, because we don't teach any software like this. The name of this training is not Tekla Structural Designer RCC. The name of this course is G+3 Building Design using Tekla Structural Designer. So we'll teach you the complete design, and until and unless you can design a building fully by your own, until and unless you complete a project by your own, will not give you the certificates also, because our motto is to make our trainees self-sufficient. And let me tell you, I have to tell this again and again, because I love to tell this, because many of our students which have studied from us have become entrepreneurs, and they have started our own field. We are basically we are young people, and we are connecting with more young people like you, and they are starting their own consultancy firms, and they're working in the respective states, and they have brought some brilliant ideas, and all that happened because they generated a certain confidence during their course of this during their course tenure, that we can design a building completely. So when you can design one particular building completely, then you will have the confidence. Because what happens in our civil engineering is that we are taught many things, but we are not taught some job-oriented skills. Like there are various skills, and among them, one job-oriented skill is your structural design. For the structural design, you need to you need to be able to design your building from the footing to the slabs, all the complete structural elements, and you need to know how to do this. So for this, you need to have some concepts, and you need the ability of working in a particular software, which will help you in the process. So this is about our course. Okay, one by one, let me know all about you, and how did you find this, and what are your ideas on structural design, and which field in future you want to go. Everything you can discuss. We have some time, I think 10-15 minutes we can discuss about that. Please go ahead. Please don't make me call names here. Anyone? Okay, let's start with Shalini ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes, what are you doing currently?
Okay, sir. Okay, good evening, sir. I'm Shalini Swara, currently in third year, final semester.
Yeah.
Third year, sixth semester, I mean.
Yeah.
And from KIIT University, Bhubaneswar.
Okay.
And I'm basically from Patna, Bihar. And in future, I want to obviously qualify GATE examination. I want to take structural engineering. And I've done courses on AutoCAD and StatPro, and was about to do 3ds Max, but due to lockdown I was not able to. And yeah, about today's course, it was a little fast, but since I had done StatPro, so it was easy for me to understand. It was not very difficult, but thoda bahut kahin was missing. But yeah,
today's course
really
चीज आपको
helped me
different लगा?
understand many things.
StatPro से कौन-कौन से चीज आपको different लगा?
StatPro was a little difficult, no doubt. We had to feed so many things, like even copy was a bit difficult. but here it was very easy. Yeah. So you ask, what will I say now?
What you had already told me that you want to become a structural designer, so that's very good. And when you want to become a structural designer, then you need to know all the basics, and there is a lot of fields in which a civil engineer can go, and you have sorted out your field. That's very good, and wish you best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So next, anyone? I think I have to call names. They're very bad. Okay. Priyanka Mane.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So
Mhm.
you are basically in first year, I think.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How are you finding this? Found out this introduction class.
Yes. S-
आप हिंदी में बोल सकते हैं, आप आराम से बोलिए.
yes, sir. है ना, सर मैं अभी ज्वाइन हुई हूँ क्योंकि
अच्छा
मुझे
अच्छा.
पता नहीं था.
हाँ. अच्छा, आपको पता नहीं चला. ठीक है.
हाँ,
कोई बात नहीं.
भूल गई थी सर मैं.
ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं.
अभी मुझे पता चला तो तभी मैं ज्वाइन हो गई, इसलिए मुझे इसमें कुछ पता नहीं चला.
अच्छा. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. आपको रिकॉर्डिंग सेंड कर दिया जाएगा, आप देख लीजिएगा बाद में.
ओके,
देख के
थैंक
हाँ, बाद में आप हमारे टीम को फीडबैक दे सकते हैं कैसा लगा आपको.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
हाँ, ठीक है जी.
अभी मैं ऑटोकैड कर रही हूँ सर.
अच्छा, ऑटोकैड कर रही हैं.
हाँ, सीख रही हूँ अभी घर पे.
हाँ.
YouTube पे देख कर थोड़ा.
अच्छा. फर्स्ट ईयर से ऑटोकैड सीख रही तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. आप
Yes,
ट्राई
sir.
करते रहिए डिफरेंट थिंग्स और लर्न
हाँ,
करते
yes,
रहिए.
sir.
हाँ, पढ़ाई के साथ साथ मतलब कॉलेज की पढ़ाई के साथ साथ डिफरेंट चीजें आप देखते रहिए. और
Yes, sir.
definitely-
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
या और कोई बोलिए.
Good evening, sir.
हाँ, गुड इवनिंग. आपका नाम बोलिए.
Sir, myself Tabassum Rose.
Okay, ma'am. How? So you're basically a student or you're a professional?
No, sir, I am student. I have completed my 12th and all, and I was studying in medical, and I came to diploma. Now I went to second year.
Okay. So how come you joined here? This is-
Sir, sorry, sir, I didn't.
you are you from civil engineering background?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you told you are medical. I think you told something medical.
Yeah, sir, I was studying medical.
Okay.
Then I left that for some issues. Now
Okay.
I came to diploma.
Diploma in civil engineering.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I have
So-
learned AutoCAD and all, and
Continue, please continue.
no, so these classes are amazing and getting new types of things to learn, and it can help us in future also.
Okay.
And my dream is now to be a civil engineer and to do something for some peoples also.
Yeah, that's good. This is about the field of structural designer.
Yeah.
There are various things which a civil engineer can do, like site engineer, structural designer, the construction planner. So this is one among them, and this software is an advanced thing by which you can do this. So that's why we had given a demo introduction to all of you, and all the best to you.
So can I ask one question?
Yeah, sure.
Sir, if I had to choose among two courses, one is 3ds Max and second one is Revit Architecture. So which one should I choose? Because if I'll ask my friends, obviously they won't give me the right suggestion.
Yeah. I'll give you the right suggestion. Don't choose any one of them. If you want to go first, if you have confidence that you can design a building fully in StatPro, because in StatPro you cannot design the foundation part, footing part and the slab.
We
also.
just apply the footing part. We don't
Yeah.
actually design.
Yeah. You need to start foundation or stay for that. If you can design a building, you should learn to design a building first, and after that you should go for Revit structures, not Revit architecture, because you want to go in the structural design, structural engineer, and Revit architecture is basically a detailing software, where you can, after this, you have this structural drawing sheet. The work of the detailer starts. The detailer, what they do is they create a VI model in which they they give the exact the anchoring lengths, the cutting lengths, exact they provide in the model, and after that, if you want any drawings, you can just cut a section and you can get the structural drawings from that. So when you have you have the confidence that you can design a building fully, then you can go in the detailing field. And this Revit Structure is a software in which you can go in the detailing field. But if you have interest in making 3D, if you have interest in making 3D, you want to make 3D buildings just for कुछ किसी का शौक होता है कि हम लोग 3D करेंगे कि आपको तो प्रोफेशन एज अ प्रोफेशन इसको लेंगे नहीं because you want to become structural engineer. आपको अगर शौक है कि आप 3D सीखेंगे तो I'll recommend that you learn SketchUp.
Okay,
Because it's a lightweight software and you can install it in any system. So you can learn that. It's better because you'll have the idea of the basics of the 3D, and after that you can work on any software like Revit, 3ds Max. You can move on.
Sir, ultimate goal of mine is to learn all the softwares, literally. But I have to actually give preferences. I cannot learn everything at once. So
you have to give preferences to particular your structural field if you want to go in that, and remaining you can work as a side thing.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So next, which we can have, anyone please?
Sir, till then, when these classes will be continuing this demo class for this?
This demo class is only one. This was the introduction class, and those who will join, and for them will just continue the remaining classes. Basically, it will be a 15 or maximum 20 days class, and if everything you follow, if you complete your assignments well, then you can complete it by 15 days also.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So anyone else? Yes, Dipti ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. My name is Dipti Behra. I'm from Dalche. Now I'm studying in third year, 6th semester in
Good.
Trident Academy of Technology from Bhubaneswar.
Yeah. Good.
Sir, मैंने तो सिर्फ AutoCAD ही किया है, so I don't know about StarPro.
हाँ. तो स्ट्रक्चरल डिजाइन में आपको मतलब इंटरेस्ट है कि आपको मतलब चाहते हैं कि आप कोई भी बिल्डिंग का डिजाइन स्ट्रक्चरल डिजाइन बना पाए?
सर इंटरेस्ट तो है लेकिन ज्यादा कुछ नहीं पता इसके बारे में.
स्टार्टिंग में तो थोड़ा पता नहीं था, पता नहीं रहता, बट अगर आपको इंटरेस्ट है तो आप उसमें कोई भी चीज लर्न कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि कोई भी तो मतलब बेसिक मतलब स्टार्टिंग से सीख के नहीं आता. एंड आपका मतलब जो अलग अलग फील्ड है उसमें से एक हमारा जो है स्ट्रक्चरल डिजाइन का फील्ड है. तो अगर आपको इंटरेस्ट है तो आप उसमें मतलब आगे परस्यू कर सकते हैं. जैसे कि ये एक सॉफ्टवेयर है.
want to be a civil engineer, of course.
सिविल यू वांट टू बी ए सिविल इंजीनियर. और मैं इस वीडियो के एंड में मेरा 2 यूट्यूब का वीडियो है, जॉब रोल्स ऑफ सिविल इंजीनियरिंग. बिकॉज हम लोग यहाँ पे आपका सिविल इंजीनियरिंग के बारे में पढ़ते हैं, बट हम लोग को वो नहीं बताया जाता कि हम लोग एज ए सिविल इंजीनियर किस फील्ड में जा सकते हैं. तो उसके बारे में मैंने वीडियोस बनाया था यूट्यूब में, मैं आपको दे दूंगा, आप उसको जरूर देख लीजिए, तो डिसाइड कर सकते हैं कि किस रोल में जा सकते हैं. बिकॉज बहुत सारे रोल्स हैं जो कि एक सिविल इंजीनियर जा सकते हैं, एंड आप उसमें से चूज कर सकते हैं. तो आपको ये सॉफ्टवेयर देख के कैसा लगा?
सर अच्छा था, आपने मतलब अच्छे से समझाया, समझ में आया. थोड़ा मतलब जल्दी बोलते हैं पर
जल्दी इसलिए बोलना पड़ा क्योंकि मुझे एक बिल्डिंग का ये जो डिजाइन है, एक बिल्डिंग का डिजाइन कंप्लीट करना था 10-15 मिनट में, तो इसीलिए मैं जल्दी बोला. बट जब हम लोग क्लास में पढ़ाएंगे तो उसको मतलब हम लोग स्टेप बाय स्टेप हम लोग कर सकते हैं. कि आज हम लोगों का लिमिटेशन है कि एक क्लास में पूरा दिखाना है कि सॉफ्टवेयर से क्या चीज होता है.
सर फिर भी थैंक यू सो मच फॉर द डेमो क्लास.
या वेलकम, थैंक्स फॉर कमिंग.
वेलकम.
और कोई कुछ बोलना चाहते हैं? एस मौलिक मैम, अश्मिता मैम, बोलिए कुछ, कैसा लगा आपको?
Hello sir, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Ashmita Mishra and I'm from CEB Bhubaneswar.
Okay.
अच्छा लगा सर। टेक्ला के बारे में मुझे पहले तो इतना नॉलेज नहीं था क्योंकि
अच्छा।
ऑटोकैड सिर्फ की थी मैं, बट ये डेमो क्लास करने के बाद थोड़ा आइडिया हो गया बेसिक सा कि कैसे कैसे होता
क्या
है।
क्या होता है इस चीज सॉफ्टवेयर में। हाँ
हाँ जी सर,
तो
अच्छा था डेमो क्लास सर।
अच्छा अच्छा। तो आप मतलब कोई कभी सोचें कि मुझे एक बिल्डिंग का डिजाइन करना है सिविल इंजीनियर, या आपके जब पढ़ रहे हैं कोई आया था कि आप मुझे एक बिल्डिंग का डिजाइन करके दीजिए, कोई रिलेटिव या कोई कैसे कभी भी?
सर ऐसा तो डिजाइन ऐसे ऑटोकैड के ऊपर प्लान करते रहते हैं, बट
अच्छा अच्छा।
इसके ऊपर में इस सॉफ्टवेयर के ऊपर में ट्राई नहीं किए, बट अभी ये सीख जाएंगे उसके बाद फिर ट्राई करने का सोचे हैं।
क्योंकि अगर आप सिविल इंजीनियर तो लोग आते रहते हैं, मुझे घर बनाना है, कितना कॉलम साइज दूं, कैसे कैसे प्लान, कहाँ का कॉलम पोजीशन असाइन करना है, कैसे कहाँ का कॉलम प्लेस करना है, तो वो सब चीज पूछते रहते हैं। तो जब आप मतलब वो करके दिखा देंगे ना, तो कॉन्फिडेंस भी आता है और आसपास के लोगों से मतलब ये भी मिलता है। मैं अपना एक स्टोरी सुनाना चाहता हूँ। मेरा एक स्टूडेंट था, तो उसका बेसिकली यहाँ पे एस्टिमेशन में क्लास किया था। देन उसके बाद तो बिकॉज मतलब सिविल इंजीनियर को एस्टिमेट तो आना ही चाहिए, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली हम लोग को नहीं आता बहुत लोगों, क्योंकि ऐसा हमारे कोर्स डिजाइन किया गया। तो जो भी है, तो एस्टिमेशन क्लास कर गया था, तो वो घर गया। फिर घर जाने के बाद उसके घर में कुछ वर्क होने वाला था, ब्रिक का कुछ वर्क होने वाला था कि मतलब फ्लड हो रहा है, तो उसको मतलब फ्लड को रोकने के लिए, घर में मतलब आने के लिए, रोकने के लिए, पानी आने से रोकने के लिए उसको एक ब्रिक वर्क बनाना है। तो उसने क्या किया, तो पापा तो उसके बोलते रहते थे कुछ नहीं करता, ऐसे जैसे मतलब घर में बोलते हैं सब लोग का। तो क्या है, तुरंत ब्रिक का क्वांटिटी एंड सीमेंट का क्वांटिटी निकाल देगी, इतना ब्रिक आपको चाहिए और सीमेंट इतना चाहिए। तो जब उसने निकाल दिया, देन फादर थॉट ओके ही नोज समथिंग। सो दैट्स इट। व्हेन वी जब आप मतलब ये सब चीज करने लगेंगे, जब कोई मतलब स्ट्रक्चर देके बोल देंगे नहीं यहाँ पे तो ये कॉलम पोजीशन गलत है, इतना पास में कॉलम हो नहीं सकता, इतना डिफरेंट जाएगा ही नहीं, मैं डिजाइन करके दिखाऊंगा, यहाँ पे ज्यादा रोड आपका दिया है, आपका पैसा ज्यादा लग रहा है। बिकॉज बेसिकली आपका स्ट्रक्चरल इंजीनियर का मतलब स्ट्रक्चरल डिजाइनर का वही रोल होता है कि आप लोगों का मतलब इकोनॉमी भी बनाए स्ट्रक्चर, एंड आपका उसका जो है पैसा भी बचे एंड आपका सेफ भी रहे। तो बेसिकली जिसका जब आपका इसका नॉलेज हो जाएगा, देन यू कैन एक्सप्लोर लॉट ऑफ फील्ड्स।
जी सर। सर सिविल सेंटर से बहुत कुछ भी समर जो ये गर्ल्स का इंटर्नशिप है, उससे भी बहुत कुछ नॉलेज मिल रहा है हम लोग को साइट के बारे में, जैसे सर बता रहे हैं। ये सर आप लोग अब यूट्यूब पे भी वीडियोस हैं, वो सारे भी बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव होता है।
थैंक यू। और हमारा मोटो वही है कि हम लोग ये स्प्रेड करना चाहते हैं कि जो सिविल इंजीनियरिंग फील्ड है कितना डाइवर्स है एंड कितना सारा चीज उसमें किया जा सकता है। अब देखिए हम लोग का कंसल्टेंट कंपनी है, हम लोग सब चीज ऑनलाइन कर दिए हैं एंड इस लॉकडाउन में भी हमारा कोई इफेक्ट नहीं हो रहा है। तो ये भी है कि आप मतलब घर बैठे बहुत सारी चीज कर सकते हैं सिविल इंजीनियरिंग के लिए। और गर्ल्स का इसलिए हम लोग यहाँ पे आगे मतलब क्योंकि हम लोग जनरल कोर्सेज तो करती हैं, गर्ल्स का इसलिए हम लोग कर रहे हैं क्योंकि वी वांट टू शो पीपल दैट there are a lot of opportunities and lot of scopes in which girls can go in civil engineering also. फॉरेन में आप देखेंगे तो मतलब लोग साइट में जाके काम करते हैं, और बेसिकली जो है एक ट्रेंड क्रिएट करना है, एक बेसिक आपको मतलब एक स्टेप उठाना है ताकि मतलब उनको आगे ले जा सके, सबको मतलब सबके साथ ले जा सके। तो वही है, इसीलिए हम लोग स्टार्ट किए हैं।
यस सर।
स्मॉल स्टेप। सो और कोई है जो बोले नहीं अभी तक? बोलिए। मिस रियंका मंडल मैम कुछ बोलिए, कैसा लगा आपको?
The class is very good.
Yeah.
Final year exam. I have already done Stat Pro. So this new software is very well informative, and we can do foundation also. The class is very good.
Yeah, you can do foundation also. You can put staircase load also here. I haven't shown that.
And we can clearly see the failures and alternatives.
And you can play with the model also in Stat Pro. As you saw, if you delete one particular member, error comes. Let me just show you. If I delete this particular beam, let us delete this particular beam. Let's see what happens. I've deleted this and then just design it again, and then let's see what happens. So in Stat Pro, the Stat output file comes, and then because I have also worked in Stat Pro a lot before purchasing this software, I had worked with Stat Pro. So basically, you can play around with this software. It's like just like a game, and just have to have your concepts clear, and then you can play around and you can generate it out very fast here. I had just explained explained and then demonstrated the software as well. Otherwise, this model would have been completed by 10 minutes, and along with the drawings and all checkings, recheckings in 20-25 minutes, the whole model would have been completed.
Yes, sir. This is a good point that this is very fast software. I mean, the in Stat Pro, we have to wait for some times, and it was very slow.
And you have to insert the points into the grid points as well, nodes, coordinates. As you can see, yeah, you see, it's done. We have deleted all these beams, and as you can see, there is no error. So as you can see, you can play around with this software. So it's very easy. The user interface is easy, and basically, as you know, time is everything right now. Time and ease is everything. So it's good in that
Thank you,
aspect.
sir.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing your views. So I think everyone has told something right now. And so before wrapping it up, if you have anything to tell, you can ask, feel free to ask. So basically in this course on Moto will be not just to teach you this software, it will be to teach you the input to this software, which is the drafting part, so that you can draft any plan, because the basic job of a structural designer starts from any architect or any planner can give you the architectural plan, and then you draft it, and then you have to assign the column positions. So how to think where I could place the columns and which size I can give, and in which direction the orientation will be. Suppose it's 15 to 350, where the 350 will be, and in which direction the 250 will be. So these things, like here we have provided, here we can also provide it along this direction. So how to think those things, and then how to prepare the centerline diagram, and then in the software also how to take the various aspects of the IS codes, and then the structural drafting part. The software is complete, the structural drafting part, how to prepare these drawings and how to take the sheet sizes and how to prepare these formats. So everything will cover in this course, so that you become self-sufficient after this completion. That's the motto of this course, and also the motto of Civil Center, to make more empowered civil engineers in various fields. So any of you want to ask anything, or we wrap it up?
So you will share this video now after the class?
Yeah, we'll share this video. Our team will share this video and also take the feedback from you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So thanks to all of you for coming. It's already late in the night, and you have come and you've joined us. So it's very encouraging that a lot of people in this lockdown period and this pandemic period are very eager to learn new skills. All the best to you, and have a great career ahead. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day, sir. Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.